7 with it's Kirk Hanna and Mark Rinda.
So LSB gets the bad draw on the slots.
Little bit there.
Yeah, I mean and certainly a little closer to the inside.
I think the race to watch from the start is going to be Bandito and Boat Floater side by side because they're so close in points.
Yeah, and those are the three boats, Joey, that we're really watching closely. The El Bandito Sunprint team, Boat Floater, and LSB. They stand the best chance to win the 3-day championship.
Right now, it's Sunprints to lose. They can go, looking at points. If they go second right now, they'll be in a tie with Boat Floaters, and it's going to be real interesting to see how it plays out with, time at that point. Right now, there's a 7-second lead for Boat Floaters over Sunprint. So if they go 2-1 and switch it there and Boat Floaters wins, it's going to come down to time. Yeah. And that'll be really interesting and exciting. Although, I take that back. Well, Team Challenger still should come out to pretty close with that missing boat there, too, and everything. So it's going to be...
that'll move things around there for
right,
sure.
but it's still going to be coming down to time and how fast. So Boat Floaters, even if they get a lead today, they're going to have to think about revving it out, keeping in front, and pushing as hard as they can because they got to make up 7 seconds or have somebody get in between them and Sunprint. If it's not, it's Sunprint's to win.
Yeah, and their setup selection is going to be a lot to play here this morning, too. I think because of Friday and the way the water was when we came out early, it was big water, and I hope everyone did not set their boats up for that at this point because right now it doesn't look anything like it did Friday until that tide gets to rolling out. And I think it was 9:30 or so. You said
no, it's already started going out, and it's a short tide. I mean,
Yep.
Normally tides are around 7 hours. This is a 5-hour cycle, so that means that it's going to start running real hard here. Now the question is, what is the wind? The wind is forecast to be at about 15 or above. Right now, the land readings at Key West International Airport and at Fort Zachary Taylor, they're running at about 8, but those readings aren't exactly accurate. If you go offshore and catch the reading at Sand Key, it's blowing east at 15.
Yeah, straight east, which is a good wind to have here. We're better than that than a west wind, So
Yeah, well, you'll be running more into it than you would when you turn at 1. Like
and 2.
The other day, you had that southeast wind where it was hitting you on the bow coming across.
That's
At least if it's going to be big, you'd be running straight into it here.
Yeah.
So that's what's deceiving. We see it out there. The tide just hasn't ramped up yet, but I imagine it during the course of this race, it's going to change a little bit.
Yeah, and with that bow wave coming at you like between 1 and 2 on Friday, there's really nothing you can do in the boat. Sometimes you try to go out wider and you cut back in a different angle so you can hit them head on, or sometimes you just try to different adjustments every time you go around that turn. Thank God it was only 5 times we went around it, but with it coming in sideways, it's just hard to get that thing right.
It does, and we did obviously the other day the tide, the outgoing tide petered out when the cats started running.
Yeah.
But the V-bottom boats, they had to deal with it, all morning long. And I talked to a couple of the Mod V teams yesterday that were testing right around 1 o'clock, and they were like, "My goodness, it was rougher than it was on Friday. What's going to happen?" And well, it really kind of depends on what the winds are going to do. If they stay down, then maybe it won't be so bad. But if they start stiffening up as their forecast while you're out there, and they're going to run right into that outgoing tide, which is going to be running very fast here today. So
as it'll be a good telltale, Billy, correct me if I'm wrong, but as they're coming into the harbor, if we see a bunch of water being dumped about midship,
that's right,
then it's not too bad out there.
That's right.
Because they're going to be looking to get rid of ballast so they can pick up the bow and
that's correct, and get over those waves. We're watching a center console boat run across out there right now, and he's not bumping around too much. He's behind the spectator fleets over here,
yep.
And I don't hardly see any movement out there. So at this moment, it looks like it could be a pretty smooth, fast race here. But
so these guys are going to have to hedge their bets a little bit here. You certainly, you go setting up for that rough water and it doesn't quite materialize, and you're out there with all that weight in the bow. It could be a bad day. So you got to choose your props right and put the right amount of weight. Maybe an in-between setup is a little bit better right now.
Yeah, Friday we watched a bunch of boats win the race between 1 and 2 in the rough water, and they were set up for that. They were getting outran coming into the harbor, and then going back out of turn 3 towards turn 1, they were getting passed.
Yeah,
and then they get back out to turn 1, and then
450.
That's right, and then their props kick in for that bigger water, and then they were jumping ahead of them. So, that's the best part about Key West. Everyone knows this is a multi-race. The water's it's flat water inside, it's rough water outside, and in between it's just kind of everything, So
how do you pick your poison, so to speak?
I don't know. I think it's rock, scissors, paper sometimes,
Sure. 80 degrees here in Key West. We have partly cloudy skies. And the winds, again, as we mentioned, are just out of the east at about 8 or 9 on the land, but offshore they're at east at 15. See how it materializes in the course. The tide is running out and starting to pick up right now. It's going to run right into that east wind out by Fort Zachary Taylor, and certainly out at what we call the wall, where our turn boat number 1, Malia, is positioned offshore. 4.48-mile course. The Mod Vs are running 10 laps and just a shade under 45 miles here today. 7 boats running in Mod V. This will be the first race of our final day of racing for the 42nd Annual Key West World Championships presented by Performance Boat Center. We'd also like to thank Monster Energy Drink, the official drink of the APBA National Series and the Race World Offshore World Championships. Monster Energy's fan zone is right here at the mall on the outer mole. And you can head inside for a refreshing Monster Energy drink and check out all the cool experiences of Monster Energy Motorsports.
I think we're about to be seeing a lot of positional on here. You'll have a 1-2 battle. They'll be teamed up. You know,
Yeah.
These guys will pair up out here, and there'll be some good racing in 3 and 4, you know, stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun stuff.
Fast Boys has the inside lane. L-Band Boat Floater at the 3rd spot, B in the 5th spot. Those are your. It's going to be the first pin.
LSB needs help here. He needs to take one of these other boys with him, other than Sunprint or Boat Floaters, because even if he wins first, he needs Sunprint to fall place, or else Sunprint will still take him in the national or the world champ. LSB needs a couple of boys to go with him, get Boat Floaters to come second, or somebody else to come second or third there. So he needs some help back of the pack there.
Well, I'm glad you can keep up with that.
Well, I got to meet some of the people who out on the wanted to say hello in the Havana Moon charter boat. We had orange smoke probably 2 minutes ago at this point, so we've got a minute to go, I would think, before they're going to form them up. What's the butterflies like out there, Billy?
You know, it's Sunday, and all the points are necessary here to win, and so that's what you're thinking about. Is the turn one. Turn 1 is what's going on. That's what the butterflies are. What is it going to be like when we get there? And then once they pass turn 1 for the first time, then everything else is just going to kind of settle back down. You know, it's just getting to that first turn to see what the water's going to be and who comes around turn 2 in first place.
The jitters of safety crew, Sean Steiner's safety crew, J.R. Anderson, all the preparations they've made. They're in the Angel helicopter. They're spread out on med boats all across the course. Anticipating, what could happen, but hoping that they don't have to splash here today.
Here we go.
We'd also like to thank Dr. Kelly Reed here locally and Dr. Mike Jansen, who is here to help support our safety crews. All right, the Cigarette Hawk Pace Boat, over 100 starts underneath them. They continue to add on. We see
North Myrtle Beach should be the closest to the pace boat. They're the outermost lane.
To the outside.
Unlike most courses that we go to, the pace boat is on the outside, so the boat with the biggest advantage is going to be the farthest away from the pace boat in terms of the shortest course, and that is Fast Boys.
Yeah, we see 151 Express. They are your reigning Mod V champions, Nick Impressia and Ian Morgan. They also race in the Factory 450R class. All right.
They've been a little off the pace so far, but
they're bringing them out early, too, out of that milling circle. That's a quick
they
bring
could.
out.
Inspector Leland Stanford will raise the flag. We're right on time, and we're green
we're
flag
green.
Racing. LAV, let's go Fast Boys.
That's a good start. Looks like they're pretty lined up from where we're sitting.
Now they'll get to sort out before they get to the first turn, hopefully, as long as everyone holds their lane. They're instructed to hold their lane through the first turn.
LSB noses forward, but it looks like
El Bandito Sunprint's right there.
Yep, no
Fast
doubt.
Boys is right there.
Looks like Britt's coming over a little bit early. You need to get back over.
Overhead, we watch the boats as they head out to turn 1. This is approaching the area where Ladder Creek caught a wave on Friday, went airborne, and were knocked out of the race.
And
there's
this
where
is
it picks up.
This is the X-Insurance Helicam shot, so this is really going to help us sort things out as they head into that turn 1.
LSB's got great speed here, and will have a good advantage when they make that turn. They're going to have a little bit wider lane to go around as they started in number 5. You see the El Bandito Sunprint Hooters team in lane 2 by Fast Boys as they approach turn 1. Definitely the boats not coming out of the water at all, and they're able to keep their attitude straight. So that's good news for them at this point. There goes Airborne right there.
Yep.
That's where you find it, folks. You're at the wall. LSB makes the turn. RevX Oil Speed Marine continuing to lead. Here in the Mod V class, we're underway, and he's pulling out in front. This is what Britt Lilly needs, and Jay Woltman.
Yep, this is kind of what we saw the other day, if you remember, in the Supercat
A little bit
start.
of air there, but he's able to get it settled back down. Now we'll check and see what the water is like as they come into the 2-pin turn at number 2 and begin the northbound run back into the harbor.
Doesn't look too bad after they pass turn 1. It's a little bumpy, but it's not like Friday. That fishing boat going across out there will cause a little wave, too, as they're plowing along there. So that next lap, they may be catching some of that as well.
Yeah, back to your leader.
Looks like
RevX
Fast
Oil.
Boys is still in second.
Closest to the pin, almost got off his line there.
Yeah. Now Sunprint has, El Bandito has moved in. They took the tight line around the turn.
There's the
Fast
hole.
Boys having trouble keeping that boat flat. LSB with the lead as we come back in, lap number 1.
And look at the tabs on that, Billy. That boat likes to run flat.
He's got him up.
The LSB, he's just got him level right now.
Sunprint is having a little trouble keeping it on the straight line flat, too. So here, LSB in at lap number 1 in first. Fast Boys in second. Sunprint Hooters in third.
The boat floater's right there in fourth.
As we follow the Sunprint Hooters team back into Key West Harbor.
I'm curious to see this average lap time on these guys today and see what they got going on this. They're going to be in the high 80s on their average lap.
Did Latacrete come by?
No, I did not see Latacrete come
that's
by.
what I'm looking out at. Oh, here they come. They're just off the pace a little bit.
Yeah, that stuff was pretty brutal the other day on that boat. So you take in that amount of water, it's a lot of work to get it going right.
All right, well, now we're back on the screen. We've got, this looks like a Fast Boys to the outside. Hooters, Stephen Furman is trying to drive a tighter line.
Fast Boys a lot there.
And right out of the picture, you can just see the bow of boat floater. So let's see if El Bandito Hooters can start making up some ground on the lead.
He doesn't necessarily need to. He can win in the World Championship from right where he's at right now.
Yeah, just off the X-Insurance Helicam shot is LSB continuing to lead and heading back out to turn number 1. There's your number 2 and 3 boat as the Sunprint El Bandito Tequila team has gotten by Fast Boys and moves into number 2. We're a lap out on 10 laps here today, 44.8 miles. A good shot of the 29 Gen 2 Extreme of Britt Lilly.
LSB and El Bandito just seem to be staying more level. And then, the Fast Boys is bouncing a little more. And the Killdalls are just, right now they're running a smart race. They know it's a long race. Experience of more than 30 years being down here. Steve Killdall's not going to get too nervous yet.
Good shot of boatfloater.com. Had a great chat with Stephen Kildall. It's a family affair there. Dad's been racing over 3 decades. He's been with him 17 years in the cockpit of that boat.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen started as a navigator, I think, when he was 14 or 15. I think APBA says you have to be 16 to drive, correct? I can't remember because Cameron Turk's only 14.
Well, and Dominic Stancombe, too, they made an exception and changed the rule for that. For Class 7, I think you can actually get in the boat at 14.
There we saw Fast Boys almost came up and punched the bow into the water. We see maybe getting a little bit more effect of that outgoing tide now into our second lap. Fast Boys seemed like they were struggling with it a little bit when they came back into the harbor. We're looking at our number 2 boat here as we widen the screen, and now you have our leader, the LSB RevX Speed Marine team. That's Britt Lilly and Jay Woltman with the Tyler Crockett engine in the back.
Brand new engine they built for this race.
And so a little bit of bounce there, a little bit of a swell that they're popping into. Could be the wakes from the boats, a little air for the Sunprint Hooters El Bandito Tequila team.
And they're running Scorpion power, built by Frank McComas.
So here comes your leader, continuing after lap number 2, RevX Oil Speed Marine LSB Power Boats. It's their day so far today.
Yeah, that's just stuck nice to the water. Great attitude.
And then Sunprint Hooters El Bandito Tequila in second. Fast Boys holding third. Boat Floater now fourth. Back to the X Insurance Helicam following Sunprint El Bandito Tequila into the turn. 151 Express off screen comes in at fifth. North Myrtle Beach in sixth. Back to our action. Here's Latacrete. They're running in seventh here today. 2 laps into 10.
Now they got two laps in. They're setting up some strategy in those boats now, thinking about how to make the next move on the turns and
where they're going to make,
inside, outside.
And you're seeing it right now. The Killdalls are trying to get inside of Fast Boys to get up to third place. And we'll see if they can pull them coming out of the harbor turn here.
Putting on a burst of speed there.
Yeah, because Fast Boys, earlier in the turn, it looked like they just dug way in deep and their rooster tail went way up. So, but back out to the front, LSB is doing what they need to do. Let's just see if everyone else cooperates.
There you go, drag race coming out of the harbor right there.
Yeah. But that's interesting that Boat Floater was inside in the turn and now they're back outside.
7-second lead for LSB over the Sunprint Hooters El Bandito team as they head out.
Looks like they got the same setup on those boats. They come out there together. Same propulsion coming out of that turn in turn 3 in the harbor. They're staying at the same gap right now, so their props are probably pretty closely in size right there.
A little bit more chime walk with the Phantom and the Fast Boys. I don't know what generation Phantom is that. Do you, Billy?
I am not. He just built that boat 2 years ago, so it's one of the new ones.
So it's one of the newer ones.
Yeah, that's the one they built after they wrecked the other one at Sarasota.
Oh, that's right.
Phantom to the left of the screen and the 2004 Generation 1 Extreme hull.
Boat Floater with innovation power out of, so that's a full Sarasota package there.
That's one of the original Mark Spates hulls. So we'll be interested to see how the leaders are doing between 1 and 2 here.
Now let's keep an eye on Fast Boys a little bit here because this is where they stood it up before.
They've had a lot of trouble here. Fast Boys rocking side to side a bit here, trying to keep that bow down.
But they've got it trimmed off better than they did in the last.
Yeah, it looks much better than the first lap.
Yeah, but the boats are bouncing more here. I think as the race goes on, you're going to see this chop increase.
And it can increase quickly too. That's the crazy part.
Exactly.
Halfway through the race, it could be a whole different race out there between 1 and 2.
As Fast Boys comes around at turn number 2 by Fort Zachary Taylor, we're going to now catch our leader. That's LSB there.
And there's
your leader. Let's get, if we can,
Bandito.
get back on the leaders, guys, there. Thank you very much. And LSB cruising back in on lap number 3.
And it doesn't, to the people listening or watching, it doesn't sound like much going from 7 to 10 laps, but what is the difference?
That's a big stretch. There's a lot of stress on the equipment this week. Here's
LSB continuing the lead, battle for second, averaging 77 miles an hour a lap right now.
And in this water today, they're running these things as hard as they can. Those throttles are all the way to the dash today.
Sunprint El Bandito holding second, Fast Boys third, Boat Floater fourth.
Fast Boys pulled out a little bit on them now.
People ask us often, what's worse on your boat, the rough water or the smooth water? And I said, well, it's pretty much the same. It's just 2 different deals.
I mean, at this point, Boat Floaters is on the podium. If you've got 10 laps to get, though, you got to complete it to get the podium at this point. If they get anything higher than third place, they've got to chase down right now the Hurricane LSB. So, at this point, what is the purpose? You got to make sure you get through before you break down. And maybe at the last couple laps, you'll see the Boat Floaters make a big move, same with the Sunprint.
Latacrete chasing North Myrtle Beach, who just passed through. They were in 6th. Latacrete running in 7th. All 7 boats continue to run here.
Wow, is LSB starting to stretch it out? Because they know we talked about the time element before.
Well, they've got laps to make up. They're 3 laps down from that first day.
Yep.
So, if you ran into a tiebreaker situation, Joey, that's exactly right. Leads 13.5 seconds over the Sunprint Hooters team.
It's like the equivalent to the college football playoff. Why do they run up the score? Well, they might need those points later in the year.
They got that boat running. They set it up right for the beginning of this race, and let's see if that weather holds for them for the next 25 minutes. Fast Boys running back in 3rd place. We follow them back out from the X Insurance Helicam towards turn number 1 into the roughest part of the course. This is right where Laticrete started having some trouble last week, where LSB is cruising through.
Yep.
Now positioning for the turn. And I would say every lap we watch, let's see how much the wind is picking up out there. It's forecast to get up to gusting to 18 today. Looks like Lilly is propped right. He's got his weight set just perfect for the start of this race.
Now, is that a narrower hull than the Phantoms? Do you know, Billy?
I believe so, yes. Those are pretty narrow boats.
Yeah, and the thing is you have that narrow hull, you'll cut through it just a little bit better than a wider boat.
It's like
that's more affected by the breeze.
Yeah. And those things run flat. I mean, you don't ever see Britt all over the course. His boat is traditionally pretty flat running. You know, he'll hit a hole every once in a while. He's about to hit this one right here in just a second when he comes back in right there. And he'll get a few times up bounce, but it flattens back out pretty good.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
Yeah, you start catching that swell too. The tide's pushing the water. You're getting the effects of the wakes hitting the seawall here. And starts pushing out the harbor with that tide running strong. Back into the Monster Energy fan zone in front of all of the happy fans here at the Outer Mole Truman Annex. Here is your leader, LSB Marine. This is RevX Speed Marine.
Yep.
Jay Waltman and Britt Lilly continuing to lead after lap number 4 of 10.
Yeah, they
shade up 78.5 miles an hour.
Nice.
And
you know, these guys are practicing. You go over to the wall over there by the ramp on practice days, and there's weight bags laying all over the place.
Some Hooters.
And a simple 5-pound movement in these boats, forward or backwards or right to left, is a massive amount of change for the way the boat rides in the water.
El Bandito Tequila team running in second. Now Fast Boys in third. And BoatFloater.com holding on to fourth. Back on top to watch Steve Miklos and Stephen Furman past the Harbor Hotels into that very sharp turn in Key West Harbor.
I think at this point, to change positions in this race, the way they're spread out right now, it's a matter of attrition, really.
Yeah.
You know, these guys aren't going to make mistakes. None of these drivers or throttle man make mistakes very often in these boats, and so it's just, can the equipment hold up for 10 laps and maintain their position they're in?
We're approaching the halfway point of this race with LSB a commanding lead so far. Was right at 13.5 seconds when we last checked.
So now they're about midway, Eric, and so you asked me a couple times the other day, what are you thinking in the boat right now? Right now I'm thinking exactly the same thing I was the other day. Don't let anybody pass us.
Right.
You know, just stay where we are, because they're pretty spread out. They're 2 or 3, 4 seconds apart right now, and it's going to take a lot. Now, Boat Floater, that's 151 Express coming out of the harbor turn now.
Right.
And in front of them, that Boat Floater and that Fast Boys race is going to be a close one. And they're losing fuel. They're losing weight. Things can change.
Yep.
But that 1, 2, and 3 position, they're pretty spread out there. Boat Floater could absolutely catch up to Fast Boys if Fast Boys isn't careful.
Yeah, the El Bandito Sunprint team, they're 14 seconds, lost about 3/4 of a second on the last lap to your leader, the RevX Oil Speed Marine LSB Powerboats team.
But I don't think they could have a better attitude in that boat right now as far as the way it's flying.
All of them look really good, too. The first lap was a little bit crazy, but like I said, no one knew what to expect. And then, you know, they made adjustments coming back out for that second lap. And then you saw the boat start to calm down. And you just get better every time you turn the turn out there. And you start learning what the boat's going to do for today.
Again, the expected winds to be up to 17, 18 as the day progresses. The tide should run till about 2:30.
Good. It'll be gone when I race at 3:30.
That's your lucky draw.
It must be. I'll take the wind over the tide any day.
We're not feeling the wind in here much.
No, you're in the we're on the other side of the island. All right, as we watch BoatFloater.com, it definitely looks like it's getting a little more choppy out there right now.
Yeah, there was also another fishing boat passed by too. Might have thrown some stuff in there from the side when they went across.
We'll widen out and catch the leaders as they come around.
There's your
start heading northbound.
There's your interval between third and fourth. that you can see on the screen. So
those waves are the ones that will get you most of the time, is because you're coming around it 3 or 4 times and you expect the same thing, and then all of a sudden a side wave comes in from another boat.
We saw LSB.
Yep, we're back with the leaders now.
Yep. And here they come. This will be the halfway point of the race.
And the combined name, the RevX Speed Marine, is because Jay Waltman is building his own extreme at Speed Marine.
Yep.
And here we go. Your leader, Britt Lilly, Jay Waltman. 5 laps in. Continuing to average 77.8 miles an hour.
I was talking to Jay the other morning in the meeting about that, and he said that, his boat's out of the mold, it's ready to go, and they're working on it, but they all kind of threw all hands on deck in to help out LSB and get them here this year too.
Stephen Furman, Steve Miklos in the Sunprint El Bandito, second. 5 laps to go. Fast Boys holding third.
Yep, Ken Bollinger and Forrest Riddle having a good run.
Boatfloater.com.
Right on his tail.
Zooming in front of the fans at the X Insurance Hospitality VIP area.
What did you get on speed on that lap there, Todd?
77.8 miles an hour.
Pretty consistent.
Yep.
That's a good speed for a boat that tops out in the mid-90s.
Everybody holding position here on lap number 5. Again, at last count, every boat still out and running. We have 1 scratch, which was the Challenger Japan.
Yeah, they broke their motor in that boat on Friday. We're glad they're back. They haven't been back in the U.S. since 2019, so this is their first time to come back and race with us.
Yep. But now if you're boat floater, are you like, okay, if we're going to try to make up something, do we need to get going?
They're sitting in third. In order to come any higher and move up the podium, they need to make a move all the way in front of the Sunprint.
Oh, okay.
And they climb into second.
Because they're running fourth.
Right, but in the podium over for the World Championship.
Oh, they're third.
They're sitting third, and again, to get to second in the podium, they have to pass Sunprint right now.
Look at the extreme run.
Yes, this is
keeping it nice and level. They just extended their lead 2.5 seconds over the Sunprint El Bandito team.
So yeah, why boat floaters want to get a podium for the day? They're still in the podium for the World Championship right now.
Yeah, nice. And he's pulling out all the tricks in there. Steve, he's got more experience than anybody in the water right now, I think.
Right, be smart at this point. Is it worth chasing down fast boys right now who want the podium for the day and have something to go home with themselves, or get a World Championship podium? And that's what you've got to put that in your mind and race that through your mind. What's more important?
Immediately following this race, the UIM Class 1 teams will race in their big 45, 47, 48-foot catamarans with the Mercury QC4V 1100 horsepower turbocharged engines, the official engine of Class 1. 222 Offshore in a commanding lead. They'll also race with the VX V-bottoms and the single extreme boat. JBS. Here's your leader.
But if you're Britt Lilly, this is no better way to sell a boat.
Yeah, that's right. And he's selling plenty of them too.
He wants to start building his performance line,
his open cockpit pleasure boats.
Yes, exactly. Which he's going to start moving on to next after his next 3 boats are already out and will race next year.
I'd be curious to see if someone builds an open cockpit bracket 500 extreme.
Wow, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
You would think it would be very fast.
All right, into the Monster Energy fan zone is LSB, RevX Oil Speed Marine. 4 laps to go. Ticked up just a shade, 78 miles an hour on that lap.
Yeah, he was running on the buoys out there, nice and tight on those things, and that's going to help him out and stay where they're at in the lead too.
He had a great start. I mean, that's really where this lead materialized. The Sunprint El Bandito Tequila running in second. Fast Boys continues in third.
Yep.
From lane 5, he was able to get out far enough to where he could make that turn in his lane and then get out in front of everybody and extend his lead from that point.
Yeah, the race course is what, 4.8 miles, you said?
4.48.
4.48 miles, and so that's from pin to pin all the way around. If you get wide of that, you can make it a 6-mile course real easy.
151 Express, your defending world champion. Looks like they're going to have to give that belt up this year.
Yep.
They can be on the podium still. They'll also race in factory 450R stock class later on today.
And they also have a new extreme for next year.
That's right. It was ready to race here, but because of the rules, I guess they couldn't bring it, and they had to continue to race their Phantom. But they will be in an extreme next year. North Myrtle Beach Resort also has an extreme out from Britt Lidley's shop in Arnold, Maryland, that will be racing next year in Mod V. They're holding on to 6th place.
Whole bunch of new boats coming next year, and it'd be nice to see these other boats get picked up by someone else, and then all of a sudden the class goes from 6, 7, 8 to 10 or 12 boats real quick.
But do you think someone would take, like, say, the North Myrtle Beach boat and go race bracket?
No, why not? Why not just race this class here with it? Race Mod V. I don't think they have the new motor in this boat right now. They're saving it for their new boat.
Yeah.
And so they just got the same engine they've been running in there, and getting their laps and running races. And the next year they're going to come out with a whole new package. And someone could very easily pick up that boat and put the motor in there and just have a successful year with it. That one, LSB's boat, the 151 Express boat.
You have the Twisted V that no
That's
one
right.
bought.
It's still there, yep.
The early extreme.
Ladder Creek pulling up the rear, 7th overall. All 7 boats continue to run on the same lap, and here is your overall leader one more time. On top from the X Insurance Helicam, heading into turn number 2 down into the harbor.
That Ladder Creek boat, they took a hard spill the other day. I'm surprised he didn't go over in that boat when they took that. Did you see the pictures online from that thing?
Oh, dear,
It was straight up.
Straight up and then straight down. You could barely see the boat when it went under.
Keeping it nice and flat, nice and level. He's got the perfect attitude as he comes through. Catch some little swells here. Hole that will always be there for you in front of Fort Zachary Taylor behind the protection of the jetty there.
And Britt's pulling double duty today, but, I mean, how much intelligence is he really bringing into a race that's going to be run, 2:30?
Yeah, 2:30, that's right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't even know that he's going to go in to be able to say, we need to do this for Supercat, because so much can change between now and then.
Yeah, it's going to change a lot. And he's doing a really good job in that Dirty Money Supercat boat, too.
Continuing.
Britt's turned into a utility player in these boat races.
I know,
He's
yes.
in Class 1, he's in Supercat, he's in these.
Well, Bill Pyburn told me that Britt is a calming influence in the boat and called him a straight-up wheelman.
Yeah.
And drivers are becoming more and more critical in offshore. Years ago, it was, just hold the wheel straight.
Right. Yeah, with all these turns, it really takes both of them. You have to have a good team in that boat, and if you've got guys in there that just don't job together, it just makes it really hard to race.
Sunprint Hooters, El Bandito Tequila in second. Here's Fast Boys in third. Sunprint Hooters falling off another 7 seconds behind LSB. Now 24 seconds back. From 14 to 17, now 7 seconds more, 24 seconds off the pace.
And here's Boat Floater. Now, Joey, where is Fast Boys in the big picture?
Sitting fourth, 30 points back of Boat Floaters right now.
Okay, so Boat Floaters
is well in where they need to be right now to be on the podium and remain there.
151 Express holding the 5th spot. 3 laps to go.
Yep.
Setup selection played a big part in what's going on out there right now today with these guys. Everyone was expecting some big water out there, and I think some too small instead of putting those.
Yep. And I don't want her being off by a pitch or two.
Oh, absolutely. Fortunately for Chad and I in the fountain, we only have 2 prop selections. We just run 30s and 31s and 32. That's it,
Yeah,
We did. Someone else did the research for us before we bought the boat. So
now, how about the Levy?
Levy Craft, we run 1 prop on that boat too. It's the one that keeps it the calmest. It's a 4-blade prop actually. Keeps the back of the boat down in the water.
Yep.
It bow lifts instead of bow steers. The 5 blades tend to lift the rear and bow steers real bad. So we run a 4-blade 25 pitch herring on that thing, and it seems to do real well with that.
And this is the Ladder Creek Relentless boat. Chris Uzzolina is working on a.
Whoa.
Getting a little squirrely there.
Yeah. He's working on an Extreme V for a big skater.
He is. He bought that from the Lucas from Nigel Hook.
Yep.
And I think they're bringing it out next year, first of the year. They've been doing a ton of work on that boat.
Hey, folks, I want to remind you that the award ceremony tonight here at the races at the Coffee Butler Amphitheater And for everyone out there following, if you want to see your friends, family on stage, it will be live streamed at the Race World Offshore Facebook page, 6 p.m. this evening. So join us here locally in Key West for the World Championships presented by Race World Offshore, and as well globally at the Race World Offshore Facebook page brought to you by Maximum Inflation. LSB, you see it.
They're getting bigger.
Yeah, it's
picking up a little.
It's picking up a little. But if you were anticipating it to be what it was on Friday, you just might be off a bit. Unless we've only got 2 laps after this one left today.
I don't see him spilling any water, so it's not common. That's for sure.
Took any in, yeah.
Here comes LSB back into the Monster Energy fan zone.
And in Britt's boat, on that LSB that Britt's in, he doesn't have his ballast, doesn't shoot out the sides of his boat.
No.
If you look on his port side trim tab, there's a hose that comes off.
Yeah.
That's where his ballast water comes out.
Oh, but I thought that's how they. I thought that's how they brought it in.
No, the underneath the boat brings it in and that pushes it out.
Oh, okay.
And now,
Yeah, see now
Sunprince is blowing out water right now.
blowing out water. He's trying to get rid of ballast.
Yeah, he wants to make a really quick turn down here in the harbor where it's nice and smooth.
And so the same with Fast Boys. You can see them blowing off ballast now too.
Unload that water in that flat turn so you don't ballast steer around with it.
Yep.
so all our fans here watching the races, race control wanting spectators to limit radio chatter on VHF 7868. It's critical to not have chatter on 7868 for the safety and the operation of our race here today. Boat floater through, so Revex Oil, Speed Marine, Sunprint, Hooters, El Bandito second, Fast Boys in third, boat floater fourth, and we have 2 laps left to go.
151 Express still running in fifth, and a 32 Phantom, the biggest boat in the fleet.
Well, they got in position today and just stayed there, didn't they?
Yep. We do have to give a shout out to Nick for probably having the coolest dog in the pits.
Yeah.
A little black French bulldog named Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls.
Dogs all the way around. Dogs on top of the Coco's Monkey boat.
Yep.
You've seen those shirts in the
Hanks
pits?
Marine.
Yep, no doubt.
Harpoon Harry's has a couple black labs over there with them.
Yep. And here's North Myrtle Beach RV. I think that's one of the older Phantoms, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Back on top, the X-Insurance Helocam, taking a quick shot of LSB, Revex Oil, Speed Marine, Britt Lilly, and Jay Woltman. Big day for them as we watch Latticrete now once again. Coming around by Fort Zachary Taylor, another great place to watch the race. They were lined up all the way into the entrance of this place trying to get into Fort Zach this morning.
And the great thing about the name of this boat, relentless, is what you have to be in this sport.
Right.
Even if you're not running well, you keep running because you just never know. Attrition could still come. We got 2 laps.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like with Britt the other day. Would he break a drive down there? Turn 3, his drive went out on him.
And at this point, that's about all the hope that Sunprint Hooters has. They're about 28 seconds behind in this race as we get ready to head in on the white flag for the last lap of the race when you see LSB come back into the Monster Energy fan zone here in Key West Harbor.
Here's the leader starting the longest 9 miles of his life right now.
Yeah.
Coming out of right into the harbor, right in front of the sealine. And the number of people lining this seawall by the end of the day is going to be nuts.
Yeah, like Todd said, that line of cars, I actually went to get a drink this morning, and I was a Monster Energy drink, actually, from the store down there, and the cars were actually past the Green Parrot. They were 3 blocks deep trying to get into that park. It was wild.
Yeah, so maybe throw your bike in the back of your truck and park somewhere off on the island and ride on in.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get in here. Running second today.
And they are offering shuttle services, too, from
true.
remote parking lots. So that would probably be the best way to get in.
Yeah, and, you know, we got the Key West Police Department and the Sheriff's Department, as a Monroe County Sheriff's doing a great job helping the traffic over there. They've been fantastic all week. We appreciate those guys helping us out. And ladies.
Fast boys running hard all day.
Having a good run.
They sure are.
The
struggle with a flyer on the first lap, and Sunprint Hooters moved past them. This is where we stayed all day.
The Annapolis, New Jersey connection there.
A credit to all these teams. I mean, we've been running this position since the beginning of the race. They came through the first time. Boatfloater.com in fourth. So LSB, Joey, in control of his own destiny to win the World Championship here in Key West.
No, he's not.
What does he need?
Sunprint is. Sunprint's the man that's in control right now.
He had to keep them.
He had to keep Sunprint actually
one boat away.
2 boats away. Sunprint needed to finish 4th in this one for him to pull it off. So, yeah, it's Sunprint that's in control.
Sunprint looking at the stern all day of LSB RevX Oil Speed Marine, knowing that that's where he needed to stay to win the World Championship. I guess that makes your strategy just a little different. World Championship, that's the way it is a lot of the time.
Joey, how long has it been since your score sheet across for these laps has looked the same number straight across on every single line?
It's been pretty steady right now. I think a lot of it comes down to, again, boat floaters realized where they had to be and what they had to do to get up, any higher than third. So why push it? Make sure you get the attrition, get all the way through, finish the 10 laps, and make sure you're still on the podium. Again, LSB, despite getting 2 checkered flags in this week, that a 5th place finish there is going to really make things tough.
LSB going around and lapping Ladder Creek as he heads in for the final stretch here to win today. What a great race for Jay Woltman and Britt Lilly. But it won't be enough. The only thing he can hope for is the Gremlins to bite Steve Miklos and Stephen Furman. As they turn to Fort Zachary Taylor for the last time into the Monster Energy fan zone in front of all of the fans at the Truman Annex Outer Mole area, and then down by the Harbor Hotels. A little air as he catches a swell, a little hole, and gets her steady back down now, and will head in to take the checker flag here today. Led all the way in the 29 Extreme from Arnold, Maryland, with the Tyler Crockett engine in Mod V.
The Britt Lilly paint job.
Custom all the way. Can't beat it.
I love the way he just implemented the number right into that. It's not the number 66.
And he'll finish
number
today.
1 today.
Again,
second in the world title hunt.
78-mile-an-hour lap. He kept it right at the 77, 78-mile-an-hour mark all day long.
Looked to be a good, clean start today, too. I wouldn't project any penalties for that. And then, just have to go back for tech inspection and pass all that to make it an official win.
And here comes your world champion in Mod V. This is all unofficial. A second-place finish is all they needed today. So more than they needed.
A wily veteran
Sunprint
pair
El
there.
Bandito Tequila. 29 Extreme with Scorpion engines. Furman and Miklos, your world champion in Mod V for the 42nd Annual Key West World Championships, presented by Performance Boat Center.
Maybe he'll give Britt a little shot of El Bandito for.
El Bandito all around.
But look at Fast Boys coming in third.
Great race for them today.
But if Boat Floater comes across 4th, they will be the 3rd team on the podium.
So it's a strategic race, Joey, by both the Sunprint and Boat Floaters.
I do believe that's what it was. They knew where they were at and how it had to count in.
And here comes BoatFloater.com, Steve and Stephen Kildall. They'll finish up 3rd on the podium tonight for the World Championships. LSB RevX Speed Marine will take 2nd. That's right where the National Championship hunt finished for the APBA National Series. And 151 Express hands over the belt, your reigning world champions.
Yep.
Will now pass the belt to Steve Miklos and Stephen Furman in Sunprint Hooters El Bandito Tequila.
But great learning experience for a couple of 23-year-olds.
As we watch the remaining boats come through.
Here's North Myrtle Beach RV.
Let's talk about that X-Insurance helicopter for a minute. That Rick Lindsay's a heck of a pilot, man.
No doubt.
That guy's on top of the boats. When we're in the boat and he flies so close, you can feel the blades. inside the boat, just that noise of the helicopter. It's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, I mean, pretty amazing their commitment to the sport. I mean, not only flying the chopper, and then his son Parker Lindsay shooting for the live stream, shooting pictures put out there to the world, but also sponsoring boats. Not just the Class 1X Insurance team, but up and down the classes.
That's right.
Class 700, Class 500. They're also putting sponsorship into a Super Cat boat here in Key West. It's an impressive signature on what they do. And they provide customized insurance solutions nationwide. And they get involved not only at the grassroots level, but at the highest level in the Class 1 UIM World Series, sponsoring teams here in powerboat racing.
And speaking of guys up in the helicopters for 40 years, Mr. Girardi at Freeze Frame Video.
Yeah, 42 years he's been here in Key West. That guy.
And I remember when I was editor at Powerboat, there'd be 100 boats here, and Al Copeland, Tom Gentry, they'd have their own helicopters. We'd have a helicopter. There'd be 10 or 11 helicopters in the air. And we had the best photographer, I'm going to brag, of the late Tom Newby, who the photos he produced for Powerboat Magazine were and just crazy. They were so good. And he just gets so imaginative with the angles.
Oh, Girardi's been shooting photos here, and I didn't even know what a boat was. I was 5 years old. You know, that's a long time ago.
But I remember we'd be chasing the super boats. There's Britt with a checkered flag. The Lilly family's had a few of these down here through the decades.
He's got another race in front of him. He will jump alongside Billy Pyburn in Dirty Money, and boy, they're right in the chase in Super Cat class.
Looked real good this week.
They have an impressive boat that they started the season with, and were in the chase, but broke that boat in half in Michigan City. And a beautiful shot here. Now he joins Britt Lilly, who will be alongside him in that 388 skater for the Super Cat race later today.
Yep.
Britt Lilly, Jay Woltman, your winner today. But in the overall world championship, over 3 days of points, they will finish second in RevX Oil Speed Marine LSB powerboats. Coming up next, race number 2, our Class 1 teams will get out and run alongside the VX and...
Oh, in Class 1, they don't draw.
They don't.
So they are running on the finish from the previous race.
That's correct.
So it'll be 222 Offshore Australia in lane 1.
That's right.
This could be a quick start to this race.
I'm trying to recall the rest of the finishing order from the other day, we'll be able to see it.
We'll take a quick break from the Porte Performance Broadcast Center. Thanks for joining us at the Race World Offshore live stream. Brought to you by Maximum Inflation. We'll have that Class 1 and VX Extreme race coming up for you when we come back.
Performance. That's what drives us. When Scott Porte set out to build the most technologically advanced hydraulic transom lift system, he pulled out all the stops. The Porte R-Series high-performance hydraulic transom bracket is the world's most advanced outboard transom bracket. After Scott won another world championship, the race governing body declared the Porte R-Series an unfair advantage. The Porte R-Series cockpit-controlled hydraulic transom bracket has the same DNA as our industrial commercial series. Maximum horsepower 750 per engine. Maximum weight capacity 900 pounds per engine. Maximum number of engines unlimited. Besides numerous national, world, and sanctioning body championships, the Porte R-Series just won Top Gun status by setting the open cockpit outboard powered catamaran class at the 2022 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. The unfair advantage keeps on winning everywhere it goes. Let us design one for you. Visit us online at porteproducts.com.
There's a lot of boat rental places in town, but none of them compare to the brand new Beach Weekend. With over 50 brand new boats at the best rate around, Beach Weekend promises to deliver a boating experience like never before. Been thinking about buying a boat? Don't. Just join the Beach Weekend Boat Club. For a small monthly fee, you'll never have to worry about the hassle of owning one. You'll just get to experience all the fun. Membership is limited, so visit beachweekendkeywest.com for more info.
Catch Catch all the action of the powerboat races at El Maison de Pepe's in Mallory Square. Quench your thirst with one of their homemade mojito specials. Grab a Cuban mix or one of their delicious specials for lunch. Later on, watch the sunset and have dinner and dancing to the tunes of Caribe. No matter what, you'll be right in the middle of it all in the magic, beauty, and charm of Old Havana right here at El Maison de Pepe's in Mallory Square, preserving Key West Cuban conch history since 1997.
And
We're
now
back.
we return. Second West World Championships, presented by Performance Boat Center, live from the Porte Performance Broadcast Center on the Zone 97.7 Sports Radio.
And welcome back to the Porte Performance Broadcast Center. Also, Maximum Inflation is bringing you our live stream at Race World Offshore's Facebook page. Maximum Inflation. Brand CO2 cartridges. Gas for everything inflatable. Todd Swafford back along with Eric Colby from Speed on the Water. Joey Cook from the Key Citizen here with us. And also joined again by Billy Shipley of Team Woody. President accounted for. And we just got our good buddy to stop in for a short visit with us. Good to see him back. Of Super V racing fame, the instigator, and more. Mr. Peter Meyer.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
Great. Good to see you all back here again this year. Key West is beautiful again. The people of Key West is helping everybody out. It's a beautiful day down here.
Hey, Eric, let's get going with our slots and starts for this Class 1 V Extreme, V Bottom, and Extreme team that's out there.
All right, we're going to be running inverted from Friday's lane. So lane 1, Darren Nicholson, Giovanni Carpatella, 222, Offshore, Australia. Lane 2, I believe, is going to be D.F. Young, the 50-foot Mystic, Rich Wyatt, and Hugh Fuller. Lane 3 should be DeFalco, the 48 Outer Limits, with Mike Falco and Billy Moore on the throttles. Lane 4 would be Monster Energy, the 438 Skater, Myrick Coyle, Tyler Miller, and Pothole Heroes with Carlos De Quesada and John Tomlinson on the outside. We also have the boats in second start. The race-winning brands is actually the Team 25 with the British throttleman Robert Brockier. 42-foot Fountain is going to be in lane 1 with driver Kirk Brito. Lane 2 is Team Farnsworth, Hancock Claims, the Arneson-equipped Fountain with driver Christian McCauley, throttles Jay Healy. Lane 3 is race-winning brands with 40 Skater, Ed Went on the wheel and Bill McComb throttling. And the Lone Extreme team with Jeff Stevenson, the owner of the boat, the 43 MTI, and Michael Stancombe from Indianapolis, Indiana, throttling the 16 power engines.
Well, there's your slots and lineups for Class 1 and VX, V-Bottom, and the Extreme boat out there. Joey, this is 222 Offshore's race to win. I mean, World Championship to win.
Not even close.
Two consecutive first-place finishes. No one has ever got around them. Only the Monster Energy 438 Skater got around them, but that lap was red flagged.
Right, yeah. Otherwise, it's been him all the way. So, yeah, no doubt. This is theirs all the way. At this point, they could finish third, and they're still first place on the podium. There's really not a lot that can be done here. I mean, the rest of the teams are going to have to push them all the way to the very back or have them break down in order to anybody else to jump to the top of the podium.
I got to love that the Race World Offshore officials are just getting these races going.
Yeah, they're just moving them right along. So these boats come up and will line up behind the pace boat.
Now, 222 will be the closest to us. As we said before, the pace boat runs on the outside here. So Giovanni, I'm sure, is going to be just jumping to get going here. He does not mess around with the starts. It looks like a good lineup.
So we wait for the green flag.
DeFalco's trying to pull a little bit here. They're still not throwing the green.
They want some line back up again. Now they'll come forward. I throw that green flag, but the 222 is lagging behind. He's going to hold them again.
Everyone just passed the pace boat. They said this morning there's going to be a penalty for that. So let's see what happens
here. At this point,
here.
I wonder if he's going to make them restart. I mean, he's so far behind them. How do you start them at this point? He just threw the green flag.
He just threw it, and they're just starting their second boat. So,
yeah.
But that was ugly. There's no other way to put that. That was not a start that any of these guys wanted.
Looked like MCOM might have been the only boat in position there on that from our angle.
Yeah,
but you know,
222 is they're taking off. So let's see how it shakes out.
So your Class 1 boats are heading off for 14 laps, or let's check them again. 14 laps.
Yep.
62.72 miles.
The V Extremes will run one less lap at 13, and the Alone Extreme boat is going to run the same 14 laps as the Class 1s.
All right, so we follow our Class 1 boats now as they turn at 1. A 3-pin turn now beginning to head to eastbound. These are 47-foot boats for the most part, 47, 48-foot victory hulls. And the team that won the UIM Class 1 Points Championship and is your reigning world champion, 222 Offshore, Darren Nicholson and Giovanni Carpatella, continue to just awe everyone here across the Key West spectator viewing area. And have the
Pothole
lead.
Heroes looks like.
There you go.
Yep.
Green flag, let's go.
The green
So we're
flag is
watching
up
the
for
start
second.
behind
Yep.
behind these boats. We're going to follow the Class 1 boats back into the harbor, and they've turned and now are heading northbound. So all of our boats have now started. We'll catch the VX and Extreme JBS when they come back, but here is your first place boat, 222 Offshore, doing what they've done all week long and leading here into Key West Harbor after lap number 1 of 14. In second, DF Young.
Yep.
And Monster Energy Imcon in third, DeFalco in fourth. Pothole Heroes charging up on the outside just behind DeFalco, but could have a race there into the corner.
Yeah, they did. Pothole was out doing a bunch of testing yesterday, so I would imagine whoa, this could get interesting.
Pothole Heroes on the outside there, that turn.
Yeah, they don't want to be
A lot of dirty water down there.
up against those buoys or they near that seawall because of those rebound wakes. But Pothole Heroes is coming around, maintaining speed, going around the outside. They're the biggest boat in the fleet. So they got around DeFalco. Let's see if they got something for Monster Energy.
Yeah, we're behind your leader, 222 Offshore, Australian Navy.
Everyone's behind the leader.
Yeah, as they just
222.
check out, DF Young is in second behind them and already 8 seconds off the pace.
Now, Peter, you've been the dominant boat in a class. You've also chased the dominant.
Yeah.
What do you, when it's a season like that?
You know, you got to give it your best shot, and it's all about preparing, and you got to get the right propellers for the right day, and with a little luck, you'll end up on top. But nowadays, the competition is so close, it's hard to even judge what you're going to do.
Beautiful shot of the Monster Energy Imcon team. Just saw our lead boats come into the VX class. Team Farnsworth was right ahead of race-winning Brands. Running in second.
That JBS took a big rooster tail on Friday out there and shut both their motors down.
Yep.
Team 25.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
They got everything cleaned out and it's running again.
As we look at DF Young, they're running in second overall.
Yep.
As they're right in front of the Monster Energy Imcon team.
And it was interesting when I talked to Darren Nicholson the other day, as we have the camera back on 222 Offshore, he said, I don't really drive the buoys. The buoys are there as my guide. I drive the waves, and we figure out the smoothest way around. So some guys just love the pin to pin to pin.
Yeah, they took a big wide turn out there and just got that speed going too.
48-foot victory hull with the twin 1100 turbocharged QC4V Mercury Racing engines. Average 103 miles an hour on that lap. DF Young trailing in second.
But look at Monster trying to come up on them.
12 seconds now off the pace. Monster Energy in third.
Pothole Heroes up to fourth.
And DeFalco now back to fifth. Monster Energy is the official energy drink of the APBA Offshore Series and the Race World Offshore Championships. Check out their interactive fan zone right here on the outer mole in the mall area.
DF
Go
Young,
inside
they
and
took that tight.
enjoy some Monster Energy and check out the cool things that Monster Energy Motorsports do.
Here we're looking at JBS going from 1 to 2 in the bumpier water. It's probably not too bumpy for them. It's for a 43-foot MTI. They have a new skater that they're going to put those big 16 power engines in, but they'll probably still be chasing 222 Offshore.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the reset of the Class 1 series. It went dormant for some years, came back to life under the management of P1 Offshore. The U.S. series has really come alive this year, and DF Young is one of the boats that really came on in the second half of the season, a 50-foot Mystic with Rich Wyatt and Hugh Fuller on board.
And Rich has had a lot of different engines in that boat, but now that he's in Class 1, and it's not just throw giant engines, it's every little nuance to try to get it faster.
Yeah, JBS here, they're running unopposed in the extreme class.
They did run Class 1 last year.
They did, but you had to switch to the official engines, the Mercury QC 4B 11 horsepower engines, and Jeff and Michael running his 16 power 1100 horsepower engine. Jeff Stevens, there's the team Farnsworth Hancock Claims continuing to lead in the VX class. Race winning brands coming through in second.
I think that team's Farnsworth is the old Taboo boat runs good, especially for being in the garage for the last 10 years. But
it's nice that they kept the Taboo name on there, kept the livery kind of in a tribute.
Yeah, changed the scheme a little bit on the paint job, but you know, with those surface drives, it's run really very well.
And here's 222 Offshore, continuing to average right about 102 miles an hour.
And DF Young is passing the Team 25 boat, still holding second place in Class 1.
Rumor has it that Team 25 Fountain, they have a new boat in the mold for next year.
Monster Energy MCon team. DF Young 16 seconds off of the lead of 222 Offshore.
I'm curious to see what Pothole Heroes is going to have for Monster, because now they've moved over to the inside. They did a lot of running yesterday. I think
losing a little weight on the fuel.
Yep.
But they're all losing weight too, but some boats balance a little different.
As fans maybe new to Class 1, watch the boats. If you see them catch a little air, you'll notice, or you see them in the Rab Beach dry pits, you'll see that they run surface drives with a rudder. You can see the big rudder off the back of the boat.
Yep. And they don't get to have the biggest selection of propellers.
Correct.
But it's easier to change the gear ratios on those surface drives, so that's where they do their fine tuning.
Whereas the Super Cats later today can have unlimited propeller selections, but the gear ratios are set in the number 6 stern drives.
But some of those larger boats, you need one set of propellers, but the gear ratio, to change that gear ratio, they can do it in 5 minutes. It's pretty interesting how they do it, and it saves you a lot of money on different propellers.
Yeah, Mike Falco and Billy Moore have established themselves as a force to be reckoned with next year. That's their outer limits hole. They're moving to a victory hole next year that Billy actually raced here in Key West, the CT Marine.
Oh, they're bringing that boat back?
They are.
That's the one that went over the top of CMS that year.
That
right?
is.
Right in front of us.
Absolutely. Right in front of the fans right here. Here's JBS coming in after lap number 2. So DeFalco with podium finishes here in Key West and ready to rock in 2024 on the Class 1 series. All right, we're watching 222 Offshore come back down into the Monster Energy fan zone, marked by the big Monster Energy buoys you see here that the viewing areas here at the Truman Mole and hotels that are right here on Key West Harbor, including Margaritaville, the Pier House, and Ocean Key House. There's 222 Offshore continuing to run strong here today. They backed it off just a smidge. DF Young running in second. We watch race-winning brands come through, running in second in the Extreme. There's DF Young. They're in second after lap number 4.
And here's Monster Energy, and there's Pothole Heroes. I think something is developing there.
Yeah, they're definitely coming about.
And DeFalco will approach us and now pass the start-finish line in 5th. 4 laps completed of 14 for Class 1. You watch there. There's the boat. You were talking about Bill Mazzoni's boat.
Oh, that thing looks fast today, don't it?
It definitely does.
Man,
I think it's one of 3 fountains built with arneson, something like that.
I think so. There
Because
weren't
they
very
had
many.
the 2 over in Europe.
Yes, they did. But the one got sold and came back to the U.S. all taken apart, so we're going to see what happens with that next year.
Back on top, watching the 222 Offshore from the X Insurance Helicam. This is a tough run for Rick Lindsay. Eventually, he's going to get dusted by speed.
He's going to get outrun.
As that 222 Offshore can get up there, probably approach 130 miles an hour on that outbound leg before settling down to get into the turn. D.F. Young looking great today.
Yeah, they've really made progress in that boat in one season.
I was talking to Hugh Fuller the other day at dinner, and he said the first race they were down 400 RPMs in one of the motors the entire race, and they had to try to figure that out, and I'm pretty sure they got it fixed.
Yeah, Rich said there was some it was turbos and temperature that they're still kind of because the engines you'll hear us talk a few times about Guardian mode, and Guardian is something that Mercury builds into the engine so that if they get too hot or they don't have enough oil pressure, they go to reduced RPM to save the motor from completely blowing up.
Yeah, tons of things that can go in Guardian. I was talking to Irvin this morning on the Gladiator boat, 450. He said they went to Guardian 37 times on Friday.
Well, that Fuller is a very good driver. I will say he's been around a long time, and he races cars besides, and he runs fearless.
Yeah,
he does.
Here comes 222 Offshore one more time. Darren Nicholson from Australia and Giovanni Carpatello from Italy. Continuing to average right in there at about 102 miles an hour, and now D.F. Young. In second, we just watched the Hancock Plains team pass by here at our vantage point in first in VX.
And they are stretching it out in VX. That boat looks good.
Monster Energy
still holding third.
Let's see how far back Bottle Heroes is just chasing.
I'll tell you what, that Tyler and Mark have done a great job in that Monster Energy MCOM boat this year. It's their first year in this Class 1 racing.
Yep.
I mean, they dominated in the Supercat class, but they had a tough start this year with the MCOM boat, and then they just kept pushing and pushing.
Race-winning Brands running back in second.
They got a pretty incredible team at that MCON camp over there, and they get that thing in and out of the water. That's a big job to run 2 big boats like that, you know.
Yep.
And to be winning on the podium with both boats. That's great.
Look at JBS.
And to be protecting your sponsor, Monster Energy. They're trying to do a good job with that, and doing a good job all the way around.
Look at that fountain, Peter. That thing is ripping, man.
He's hooked up. There is no doubt about that.
That's those McComas Scorpion engines in there this year.
Yep.
Does Frank do those motors?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Frank did my motors. Did great motors.
Yeah.
No doubt. D.F. Young.
Is Ed still running Scorpions in the Knucklehead boat now, your old boat?
No, I think he went to the other guy up there.
I'm not sure. Cassie, maybe? Or
No. Been around forever. That's Billy's Motors.
Sterling?
Oh, Sterling Motors. That's right. He did go to Sterling. Yes, sir. And it's still a rocket.
Mike Dianabo. He's a gem. Built some great engines, Sterling.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah, Team 25 rolling back through. They continue to hold in at the third. Thanks for coming over from all the way across the pond.
Yeah, after they grenaded a motor on Wednesday.
Boy, they were like a train going through here with all the smoke coming out of that starter
They went
motor.
and leased the Freebird backup motors.
Oh, did they?
And they were what they had to do to get those tractor pipes on there to make it work. Connie Hunt was showing me some pictures, and they're just out there in the beaten down sun and like trying to figure this. And they said they were apologizing for putting their dirty parts on that nice new Bruce Baker Express engine.
Watch, we're gonna watch 222 Offshore, I think, come by the Extreme boat here. Got the Extreme JBS on the inside and 222 Offshore. There they go, right by them from Class 1 into the Monster Energy fan zone here in Key West Harbor. See ya.
Yeah, I think the word juggernaut applies in this case pretty well for 222 Offshore.
Joey, I can't remember in all the years of calling Key West Racing, Peter, you too. I mean, you followed the Class 1 series this year. Monster Energy running in third. Class 1 behind D.F. Young, who just came through on lap number 6. What a run these guys had. They didn't have to come to Key West. They won their points championship, and they come here and they've led every lap.
Times you were national champion, they tell you how many times you were world champion.
It's a pretty big deal when the trophy says Key West on it.
Yes.
Yeah, and to win 3 races in 5 days is a huge accomplishment.
Yes.
It's a tremendous amount of work. Joey.
Yeah, it's Navy boat out there has been definitely the talk around the community.
Well, Peter, what did Stan Lane always say? To be the best,
Yes,
you must
gotta
win
in
Key West.
Yes.
As we watch Mike.
There's a guy we miss, you know.
Yeah, he was a great guy. He became a great announcer. Sure miss him.
Yeah.
Mike Falco and Billy Moore. Yep. The Outer Limits Class 1 boat with a beautiful New York Skyline livery, and they're running in 5th. There's the Monster Energy 438 skater beat built by Peter Ledden of Douglas Marine with the Mercury QC4V engines.
Based out of Performance Boat Center in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri.
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the APBA National Series and your Race World Offshore World Championship races here in Key West.
Going Super Cat racing a little bit. Super Cat racing.
Yeah, and
on double duty here.
But it's nice to see Bill McComb come back out with his boat there, and you know, that's been sitting 10 years too, and I saw him, and he blew away, and I was showing him what he should really want, you know, raise him up just a little bit, and go out and test it. You know, you need so many pounds of, and the problem is, first you go to more water pressure.
That's right.
So we were talking for quite a while, and hopefully he's still running, so I guess he's doing better than the other day.
Yeah, I don't care how many hose clamps you put on sometimes, Peter, that water pressure's, it gets high when you're running 100+ miles an hour out there.
And it's a matter of testing to get the right thing.
D.F. Young on the inside. Remember, these two boats aren't in the same class. Well, he's got traffic to deal with here. He's going to lose some time on 222. He's got the Team 25 boat to the inside.
Pothole is right there.
Everybody's going to get held up here, and don't be mistaken. Johnny Tomlinson is looking at that, and he's going to try and position himself out of that turn. This is happening off camera right now. It's happening right in Key West Harbor. There's traffic in front of D.F. Young, 2 boats, a VX boat and the Extreme Hull, and we'll see how they shake out of the turn.
Just want to get everyone through clean. But, yeah.
Looks like MCon coming on the outside there of D.F. Young, isn't it?
It does.
Yep.
Yep. This be who?
No, that's JBS. That's JBS.
Oh, JBS. I'm sorry. JBS. MCon just right behind him.
So D.F. Young should dispose of JBS here.
So he's the second time JBS has been passed by a Class 1 boat. He may be passed by the entire fleet here on this lap. MCon still holds on to 3rd. Pothole Heroes in 4th. No one gained an advantage there. And right at the stern of Pothole Heroes is DeFalco.
And your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. Well, Pothole Heroes is blue on one side and red on the other.
A brilliant livery for Pothole Heroes as you watch Rich Wyatt and Hugh Fuller. Great season for them in Class 1. They like to cap it with a big podium finish in Key West with a 3-day World Championship.
That JBS boat is super fast with those 16 engines in there, and you know, don't count him out. He's just not racing these Class 1 guys today. He's by himself. So, but it will run those speeds with those motors in there. That's a really fast MTI.
It's really hard to gauge how much choppier it might have gotten. These boats span the waves so well, and they have so. But you can see here a little bit of air, and you can see those. You can see the rudder.
Yep.
And the surface drives very well. If they catch one of those little holes and come off of it and get just a little bit out of the water.
Reminiscent of when Miss Geico stood straight up
with the helicopter
right
above
years ago.
That was awesome shot.
Yep.
Scary ride, awesome shot.
222 offshore. This is lap number 8 of 14.
Yep.
And there they are.
Yeah, while he's got the podium #1 locked up, that rest of the race, between DeFalco, Monster, and DF Young is going to be real interesting, because if any of those make a move on each other the rest of the way here, it's really going to jumble it up. They all have a chance to be on the podium in second, third, however it plays out here.
Looks like the Team 25 fountain pulled in the middle of the course.
Monster Energy, Tyler Miller and Myrick Coyle in third behind DF Young. Pothole Heroes in fourth, DeFalco in fifth. 6 laps to go. JBS running unopposed.
We can go ahead and call that one the world champion right now.
That's right.
I'll go out on the limb right now and do that.
He's going to go ahead and finish his laps and be the world champion. Michael's got a pretty nasty bruise from that wreck.
Anybody want to take that bet against me?
No, I'm good. The odds are in your favor.
Want to remind everyone out there, race control is having trouble with people cutting in with chatter on race control channels. So please, if you have a voice-activated mic, please cut your mics. If you're going to listen, that's one thing, but you're causing problems here with safety and monitoring what's happening on the race. Please cut your mics. No chatter on race control channels, please. All right, there's Team 25 down in the center of the course.
They're under tow. They have a rope on them.
Cheers to
James Lockyer.
Yep.
For making the trip.
That's right, from Southampton, UK. Team Farnsworth.
Now that they know that other boat's down and they know where the Waste Running Brands is, they're just going to make some laps and make sure their spotters keep them in the front of the race here.
At this point, with Team 25 going down, Farnsworth cannot finish off the top of the podium. They are going to pretty much be there.
He's just going to make the rest of these laps.
They're
going to be the world champs. With one of the 2 teams going down in that VX or XV class, that pretty much opens the door for Farnsworth after 2 first-place finishes.
Talk about someone jumping into racing.
Wynn Farnsworth.
Wynn and Sarah have jumped into it feet first. Hancock Claims has jumped into it feet first, running the V Extreme. They have the Class 549 boat out there. They have it's not here, but they have it. Then I know they have the Super Cat. They bought the Broadco boat there. You're going to see some big things come out of that camp, too. Wynn and Sarah are amazing people, and they're doing a really good job. And their sponsor is full force behind them. And so we're super happy to have them here as well.
Race fans,
speaking of an amazing year.
Enjoy this for 5 more times. It'll be the last time you'll see them here in Key West. 222 Offshore.
Did you hear that pop?
I did.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's probably running right on the rev limiter there. So.
Yeah.
So DF Young.
But it looks to me like Myrick and Tyler are trying to make a run here at second place in the Monster Energy boat.
Yeah,
they are not driven up.
Yeah, Monster Energy is bringing it from behind in third. Pothole Heroes continues to chase in the same position, bringing it to Monster Energy.
The Falco's right on them now, too.
Yeah, all 5 of your Class 1 boats.
The backside of that podium is going to be fun here. There's
traffic,
the battle.
Yeah, that traffic in those turns will change it up pretty quickly.
And we get a look, and again, a little bit more of a swell there as the tide continues to run out pretty strong until about 2:30 here today. Doesn't appear that wind has materialized as forecast yet, but it is still expected to be at 15 to 17 at some point today.
Now let's see what Pothole Heroes does with
Falco's right on the inside of Pothole Heroes
right outside of Pothole Heroes. So
it's
let's
almost
see how
one
these. We got a nice drag race shaping up here.
Yeah, Carlos de Quesada and Johnny Tomlinson in Pothole Heroes. They have been snake bit most of the year.
Monster's rooster is already laid down. You don't even see it in front of Potholes. So
that's the boat, Pothole Heroes, that won the Class 1 race here in Key West last year. 222 Offshore. Big tip of the cap going to the entire crew. You get down there and meet the entire crew at 222 Offshore, and gives you some indication of how they did it. They're a close-knit group, and everybody on board, the team players all the way. You can't underestimate the influence of Peter Muddy McGrath, who is part of the technical team there, and his input with Giovanni Carpatella, both world-class racers, making this team the best in the world.
I take it back, Peter. I don't think they've let off at all in that boat.
No,
Hancock.
You know what? They bought it this past year. They're having a good old time. Well, what can I tell you?
Hancock claims.
They got nothing to lose at this
Farnsworth,
point.
Nope.
What's that?
They got nothing to lose there in that Hancock.
Yeah,
No.
leading all the way as we look
But
back.
Monster is around DF Young for second
They got
place.
It does appear, but they are on the outside.
Right.
Let's see how that
Let's-
shapes up as they head into turn number
And
2.
look at Pothole
Myrick's-
Heroes just came around. DF.
Myrick on that wheel, he'll cut that turn and solidify that spot.
We'll look back after Triple 2 comes through. They're averaging a little under 100 miles an hour. They've pulled off a little bit, and now the fight
Now
for
let's
second.
see the battle here, yeah.
Monster Energy, 438 skater, Tyler Miller, Myrick Coyle, battling side by side with DF Young. It appears they've edged forward into second. DF Young.
Oh, they're on the outside. Pothole's got around them too.
Hey, DF Young's got a problem, ladies and
without
gentlemen.
doubt he's got a
Yeah,
problem.
because Pothole Heroes is now up to third and DeFalco is fourth.
Monster Energy now in second.
If I'm going to guess on the DeFalco, they're pulling in right now, and I would
DF
guess that
Young.
water pressure got them again. They've been blowing a hose off all year long in that boat, trying to fight that water pressure issue in there.
Yep.
DeFalco
You know.
moves to the center of
That's
the
DF
field.
Young.
I'm sorry, DF
Young.
Young moves to the center of the field. And
Yeah, he's jumping out. I bet he's going to make sure they're not dumping water in that boat right now. Yep. Or if it's still on, they'll now jump back in the race and start making some more laps.
Changes a lot there, though.
Yeah.
Or on fire. You never know when you lose a hose. You know, the thing overheats.
Wyatt, look inside.
There's no concern. Helmet off.
You know,
Well, you know, it's attached. It depends
Inter-
on what
in the spectator fleet one craft us, and we lost steering, and we ended up just couldn't turn at all. And Chad jumped out and said, yeah, the belt's off. So I grabbed the tools. I had them with us in the boat because we'd had the problem in the practice day, and I put the belt back on, and we jumped back in the race and ended up getting second place that year.
Now make this interesting here. If Pothole Heroes can overcome Monster there and move into second, they'll find their way onto the podium with this DF Young breakdown right on sudden.
Yeah, a tough break for Rich Wyatt and Hugh Fuller. A fantastic season on the second half of it. A dominant win in the Midwest Challenge.
Well, let's see if they
to
get
end
back
the
going
season
again.
before heading to the season ender for the Class 1 World Championship. And they're not out, and see if Rich was able to get anything accomplished there. But still, they were running well in second up until coming in here to the harbor.
And here's Pothole Heroes on camera, but right in their rooster tail, you just don't see them. DeFalco was right there.
Oh, they've been
Let's
stalking
see.
them all morning long.
That side exhaust, Peter Meyer, just like that Instigator boat.
Yeah, mine was a little different, up a little further, so it was a little louder.
Yeah.
Continuing to average 98 miles per lap now. 222 Offshore as they coast in first. You watch that sweet lady go by one more time. 222 Offshore.
Ed and Anthony don't lay off of that boat. They still run it just like you guys did. It's still the
here's-
baddest V in the sea as far as I'm
No
concerned.
doubt, no doubt about
Monster
it.
in second.
Monster in
But
second.
Pothole
Potholes
is up to third.
in third still.
Yep. And here's DeFalco in fourth. Will come right into your screen. There we.
It appears DF Young's under power, but it looks like that engine hatch is still popped. I don't think they're going to
They're
make it
not
back
going
into the
to.
race. Yeah.
And
I was hoping they'd get back in.
good look at the Monster, the JBS team, excuse me, that's out as they head out onto the chop towards turn number 2.
That signature MTI deck line.
Again,
And here's the victory.
she sails in the lead. The sweet lady of 222 Offshore, Australian Navy.
What a boat.
And if you look at Darren, speaking of sailing, you look at Darren Nicholson's bio, and there's a photo of him growing up sailing.
Right.
He used to be a competitive sailboat racer, so.
How many laps we got left? 2.5?
They're out on,
They're on
2.5
12 right
correct.
now, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, sailboat races aren't going to go over well down here.
No, but
Not
you learn strategy, you learn aerodynamics, you
Oh,
learn.
you do, and you look at the other guy off at the right time.
When Mike Fiore bought out, was an old sailboat manufacturing company, and they said, oh, the sailboat racers are just as cheat. They cheat just as much as the powerboat guys.
I think they cheat more.
Well, that's why you need strong governance. APBA, UIM, we welcome them. I mean, set up a structured racing environment, and everybody is
hopefully doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
222 still.
DF Young taking on water. We're getting that report from
okay.
Race Control, and you can. Yep.
DF Young just got back up on plane, probably just to try to get in.
They're going to try and get in and.
I bet if they're taking water, they're going to cross and get to the crane and get that thing out of the water as fast as possible to keep that salt water from getting too deep in there and messing it up, you know.
I want to remind everyone, Race Control has told us they've been hearing a lot of chatter on comms, Race Control comms, so please do not have your automatic mics on. Do not talk on Race Control channels, please. 222 Offshore, Australian Navy, just 2 laps left to go to cap off a remarkable season. The MCon team, their Monster Energy Class 1
debut has gone
438
amazingly
skater.
well.
Wow,
great job,
they
guys.
talk about having a great second half to the season. The Monster Energy Class 1 team in second. And Pothole Heroes in third.
When you're getting around boats and changing position in competition like this, that's impressive.
And DeFalco in fourth.
Currently, DeFalco's a huge fan of MCon because right now he's on the podium as long as MCon can keep Pothole Heroes in front, behind him.
Keep them at bay.
Yep, so DeFalco's kind of rooted on MCon right now.
And it'll be curious to see if Johnny's got another ace up his sleeve to get around Monster.
There goes DF Young getting it over to the crane so they can get that thing to safety.
You don't want that thing sinking.
No, all that salt water just eats everything up. Get it out as fast as you can.
It would give Herbie something to do.
And here's race-winning Brands.
So the real race here, ladies and
skater.
gentlemen, is in Class 2, second place, Monster Energy and Pothole Heroes. Carlos De Quesada, Johnny Tomlinson, 9 seconds behind the Monster Energy 438 skater with Myrick Coyle and Tyler Miller.
That's not a very far gap between Pothole Heroes and DeFalco right now.
No.
It's about the same by the looks of it.
Pothole Heroes look like they dropped back a little bit, though.
Yep. Well, Skaters turning a 438. Pothole Heroes is turning a 49 in the harbor.
Oh, are they?
Well, no, I mean, it's the length of the boat.
Oh, yeah. The big boat, yeah.
So if it's not that rough,
no,
Johnny's not going to have the advantage he was hoping for.
We'll have intermission here in between this race.
JBS.
Harbor's closed from 11:30 to 12:30, and we'll come back with racing immediately after with the stock 450R class.
I'm hoping we see that new JBS skater next year if they get it done and get it put together in time.
Just 2 more passes in front of the fans in the Monster Energy fan zone here at the Outer Mulder Truman Annex in front of the Harbor Hotels. This is 222 Offshore. They are prepared to cap a UIM Class 1 Points World Championship this season with another World Championship here at the Race World Offshore 3-day World Championship races in Key West, Florida. It's the first time Giovanni Carpatella and Darren Nicholson have raced here in Key West, and all they've done is lead every lap.
That's astounding.
They sound smooth.
Every lap, all 3 days, correct?
Yep. Well, the very first start, MCon took out, and then they had the red flag on the ex-insurance flip, and then after that, he's led every other bit of the way.
Yeah,
they were 8 seconds behind MCon's Monster Energy team just through, down a second to Pothole Heroes. They've moved up 1 second here with 1 lap to go. DeFalco
not going to do it.
DeFalco rooting on Monster Energy's Class 1 team. And what a story that would be for Mike Falco and Billy Moore, who got their first podium in Class 1 here in Key West, to end up on the podium for the biggest race in the world, the Key West World Championships here in Class 1.
They're in position right now.
Peter, I mean, talk about how hard it is to win this thing. 3 days.
It is hard, and you're always worried about what the other guy is doing, and somebody's in the background counting points. It's like, forget about the points. We need just to finish, and you would know better than anybody to watch it every year.
Yeah, if the points don't, if you don't finish the race, the points don't really matter, do they, Peter?
No, they don't.
What an amazing year for 222 Offshore in the UIM Class 1 World Series. Race-winning brands continuing to run well, but not as well as Team Farnsworth Hancock claims in the VX Extreme V-Bottom class. Great season for them as well.
It is good to know Sunday going in what position you're in, you know, 'cause
Yeah,
it's kind of the
that,
day.
that's when you're sitting there figuring it out. But I mean,
Seeing D.F. Young heading to the rain to get out after taking on water and exiting the race after lap number 8, running second all day long. We'll be looking for 222 Offshore to head back into the Monster Energy fan zone for the final time to take the checkered flag for their Class 1 World Championship here in Key West.
Peter, when did you first race here?
83 or 80. I started in 82, but I think I came down to 83, 84.
And here they come, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Class 1 World Champion, and now your Key West Class 1 World Champion. 222 Offshore, Australian Navy. Darren Nicholson, Giovanni Carpatella cap an amazing season. And finishing in second will be the Monster Energy 438 skater. Myrick Coyle and Tyler Miller will get to the championships.
Very nicely done.
Yep.
Absolutely. What a day for those guys.
Pothole Heroes.
Will take third and finishing fourth today and onto the podium for the World Championships in Class 1, Mike Falco.
Billy Moore.
Billy Moore in the outer limits. DeFalco. Salute.
So, Joey, do we have MCon on the podium?
MCon is
second?
number 2 on the podium, yep.
Okay.
And then third is actually DeFalco, slides in there. 14 points above DF Young and 17 points ahead of Pothole Heroes there.
So we're just going to keep the V-bottoms running to complete their laps.
We may. I mean,
I might be off a lap for them.
Yeah, I have one more lap for the Vs.
They're holding the flag because the harbor under contract has to be closed at 11:30. I think now that the Class 1 boats come, when each one of the other boats come around, it's going to be an official finish.
But if you want to talk about dedication to the sport, how long has the guy throttling JBS been doing this?
Mike Stancombe.
Holy cow. He's
How
been
many
doing this
different?
since he was a kid. And
Yeah.
Different teams. He ran our boats for 2 years, you know,
Yeah.
on a Class 5 boat.
Absolutely.
Great guy to have on our team.
Now that, and here comes the Hancock Claims
Race
boat.
with the historic Peppers team. Light winner as your V. Team Farm. The World Champion West C4 finishing in second run this year. I think we're out of this boat next. Race winning brands.
Looks like that water's pretty much the same as whole race out there. It's a little bumpy, but I didn't see it change much out there. It looks like it's a little rougher coming into turn 2, coming down towards the harbor.
Not going to feel
right there, that JBS boat's bouncing around a little bit. That's that hole out there. You know, it's always there in the water.
Not going to feel a need to cinch up that back brace when you go out in your little 29-footer.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was sitting over the whole time thinking, do we want Jesse and Brad to race or me and Chad to get in there, you know? We all did our physicals this morning so we can rock, scissors, paper who's going to race.
Race winning brands second today in the World Championship.
Good return to the sport for Bill McComb. Good to see him back out.
And JBS will wrap up their win today in Extreme unopposed in the Unlimited class.
Looks like Hancock's going to make their last lap.
Yeah.
JBS pulled in.
They have the checker flag up. I'm pretty sure race control is going to ask them to.
Well, and here's why, too. If they pulled in right now and Waste Running Brands finished their laps, then they would actually pass them. They'd be a lap down. So unless race control officially makes the call to finish the race on that pass there. So,
I mean, they did have the checkered flag up as they went across.
But when you're in a racer in that boat,
Oh,
you want to make sure that you finish.
You're not listening, looking at anything.
Yeah. I got tape on my dash. I still got laps left.
One name for you, Peter. Kurt Russell.
Yeah. But he brought a lot of fame, without
But
Copeland and stuff like that.
He also missed a lap count and cost them one race ever, I think,
Yep.
right?
Yes, he did.
You're listening to live coverage here in Key West on the home of powerboat racing year-round. We follow it for you right here on the Zone each week. 97.7 Sports Radio from the Porte Performance broadcast booth. Porte Performance has built the most advanced cockpit control hydraulic transom lift system in the world at Porte Performance. We build performance into everything. Getting ready for 222 Offshore to take their checkered flag for the final time. Here, you're listening to...
And as a journalist, you love going up to talk to Giovanni because you never know what you're going to get.
You got to remember, Kurt Russell was hoping to get off the boat and hit the Goldie Hawn.
Well, Don had Melanie at the time, too.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I was around for some of that. It was pretty cool stuff. Kurt Russell was the coolest celebrity you could ever imagine.
He didn't bother anybody.
No. Or he'd come up to you and ask you, did you see the score of the Lakers game? And you turn around, it's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
You know, he talked to anybody down on the docks, and it made you feel good if you were as a staff member out there when he ran there in 91. Hancock claims, well, they took a victory lap, I think, for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
I say it's okay. Winner and world champion in the VX Extreme team.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, Kurt Russell and all this other stuff. I'm a little bit too young for that.
Yeah, I know.
You said you started racing in 84. We started racing here 34 years after that in 2018.
82 was the first one.
Yeah, 82. Nice.
Our live stream brought to you by Maximum Inflation, the presenting live stream sponsor. Maximum Inflation brand CO2 cartridges, gas for everything inflatable. Since 1965, Leland Gas Technologies has made CO cartridges that inflate the life jackets used daily by fighter pilots, NASA astronauts, naval seamen, the U.S. Coast Guard, and offshore powerboat racers worldwide. They all rely on Maximum Inflation. Its reliability is there when it's needed the most. Recreational boaters go to West Marine, Cabela's, and Bass Pro stores to rearm their life jackets with Maximum Inflation brand rearming kits designed for your model life jacket and approved by Underwriters Laboratories, U.S. Coast Guard.
And there's the presentation of the checkered flag, 2222 Offshore, Australia.
Hey, Todd, I'm going to get out of here for the day and let you guys have this. And I want to thank my wife for letting me sit here and do this with you guys for the
Billy,
day.
we thank you so much for coming. And as always, you do a fantastic job, provide tremendous insight. We'll be rooting for you later on today in the Levy Craft Team Woody in the bracket classes.
Sounds good. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your stay here in Key West.
I'm going to be heading out, too. I want to thank everybody from APBA. I want to thank all you other announcers, and I want to thank Larry and everybody from Key West. You guys all do a great job.
Peter Meyer, a legend from the Instigator team, many others.
Fever.
Yep, no doubt. Peter Meyer, thank you very much, sir. Good to see
Thank you.
And there is your world champions, 222 Offshore, just going off camera as we look in to the X Insurance Helicam. And that's everybody wave. That's the X Insurance VIP hospitality area. And we just got sprayed by the chopper. Yeah.
So what has I've got all week?
All this electrical equipment. No worries.
It's okay. Yes, thank you. Very nice. Coming up, race 3 after the intermission. Harbor's closed from 11:30 to 12:30. And then immediately following, we're going to have shotgun starts beginning at 12:30. The factory 450R boats, followed by Super Cat, then a break, then Super Stock and the bracketed boats immediately following. So we got a lot more action coming your way the rest of the afternoon. Rab Beats Race Village. Stop by and see what's happening in the Rab Beats Race Village after the races before the award ceremony at 6 o'clock tonight at the Truman Annex Coffee Butler Amphitheater. Race World Offshore would like to express our sincere gratitude to Rab Beats for joining us as a sponsor in Key West. Your steadfast support elevates our events to new heights, making them truly exceptional. Thank you for your invaluable contribution, Rab Beats. Hey, if you're out here on the outer mall, walk through the mall and check out the Monster Energy Fan Zone. Get a refreshing Monster Energy and check out the interactive fan zone and watch cool Monster Energy motorsports right on the big screen.
DF Young is safely on.
Just passing in front of us. We were giving Nicholson winners today in 222 Offshore. And also special thanks to Tuna Skin Tuna Skin, the official apparel sponsor of the Race World Offshore Key West World Championship. See them here also on the mall at the Truman Annex Outer Mall area. All right, we're going to take a break from the Porte Performance Broadcast Center. Come back with more. Powerboat Racing will be in our halftime report on the way, brought to you by Lichty Marine here on the Zone 97.7 Sports Radio. And again, thanks for joining us on the Race World Offshore Facebook page for our live stream presented by Maximum Inflation.
Take a walk down Duval Street. Hey, 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 yeah. Take a walk down to 724 Duval Street to Bourbon Street Pub, Key West original Nolans themed video bar featuring the Men of Bourbon nightly, live VJs, live shows, 5 bars, the world famous garden bar by the pool. Check out bourbonstpub.com for all the happenings. Also, check out the Nolans house right next door. It's the total entertainment package at Bourbon Street Pub. Play where you stay.
We've Got the Keys, your local expert for celebration and event planning, specializing in creative incentive travel and one-of-a-kind events. We love Key West and proudly produce some of your favorite annual festivals, including Fantasy Fest, Taste of Key West, the Key West Songwriters Festival, and the Key Lime Festival. We've Got the Keys takes pride in gathering people together, creating fun and unforgettable events that showcase all that Key West has to offer. Go to we'vegotthekeys.com. Cheers to your next Key West event. Keys Auto Center is your hometown car dealership. Now with 2 locations at 1618 and 3500 North Roosevelt Boulevard in Key West. Same great staff with over 80 local employees ready to serve you. Keys Auto Center has every brand you can imagine. Chevys, Buicks, GMC trucks, Cadillacs, Corvettes, Nissans, Ford, Chryslers, Dodge, Jeep, Rams, and Toyotas. Go to KeysAutoCenter.com to see all that Keys Auto Center can do for you.
Key West Adventures, Jeep Rentals, and more at 3424 North Roosevelt Boulevard. You're probably wondering what the more is all about. Well, the more now includes boats. Beautiful Bennington 22 Tritoons provided brand new by Polaris, located at Real Impact Marina on Summerland Key. Rent them for as little as a half day or as long as a month. Key West Adventures will even deliver your boat wherever you need it. Go to KeyWestAdventures.com to take a look for yourself and check out the frequently asked questions for more details. Book your next adventure online at KeyWestAdventures.com.
And now we return to the 42nd Annual Race World Offshore Key West World Championships, presented by Performance Boat Center, live from the Porte Performance Broadcast Center on the Zone 97.7 Sports Radio.
All right, welcome back, everybody, here to the 42nd Annual World Championship Offshore Powerboat Races, presented by Race World Offshore. We are live at the Porte Performance Broadcast Center. Porte Performance. We build performance into everything. Time for our first Lichty Marine of Marathon halftime report for the day. Lichty Marine of Marathon is the Keys' largest Suzuki repower dealer. Lichty Marine, 9200 Overseas Highway and Marathon. Well, it's still morning. Good morning, everybody, and already a lot of action here on race day number 3, the final race day for this 42nd Annual World Championships. And we got a big halftime report coming up for you. Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to chat with Mark Waddington, one of the owners of Performance Boat Center, one of the huge sponsors of this race. And then a little bit later on, Larry Blyle, president of Race World Offshore, will get us caught up on how everything is going this week and what's left for today. I am Rick Lopez, along with my broadcast partner, Joey Cook from the Keys Citizen. And Joey, wow, already a lot of action and still so much more to come here on this Sunday.
Yeah, we've already got some of the bigger, races to go. I mean, gone. Class 1 is already done. If you have not missed your chance, you were not down here this morning in time, and you missed that 222 Offshore Australian, the Navy boat, you missed a classic right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful boat right there, and
well,
again, I can't say enough about that vessel.
What about the run for that Australian team? They've conquered the seas all over the world now. They had never come here before. This was their first trip here to Key West. And Joey, first place finishes all 3 days. That boat ran so smooth. And today, wire to wire again and get the World Championship.
Yeah, they're deserving of that title. That is, like I said, it outclassed the rest of that class. It really did. And it was some great boats in there. That MCon ran really strong for the year and did a great job to fight himself all the way up into that podium position and get second place. The DeFalco, and you feel so horrible for the DF Young because they had some great runs, but attrition is big, and they couldn't make it through those 2 races there, just dropping them all the way back to just off the podium there. So, you look at the end, there was some good racing, but pothole heroes, to see them come back the way they did after that incident in the first lap on the very first day.
Yeah, and they were in a
had
flip.
to pull off.
Yeah,
they weren't flipped, but they were they were right next to the X Insurance. I don't know if they took some damage off that or what.
Yeah,
but
right.
Then to see them come back and to take third today. There was a lot of great racing and a lot of great boats in that class hitting triple-digit speeds. But on top of that is that Navy boat, that Aussie Offshore, that 222, made them look like they were almost going in reverse that time. That boat was just so keyed in and so hauled up, propped right, call it what you want. I don't think you can set that boat up incorrectly. It just runs so beautifully, and it was something to watch out there. It was a spectacle all week.
Yeah, and then the Monster Energy team, it just kept hanging in there, finished in second place. Heroes, as Joey mentioned, onto the podium
for today. They moved on the podium. World Championships, they just missed out of that right there. If they hadn't gotten past Monster, they would have jumped themselves into the podium for the week and gotten the third place for the World Championship, but they couldn't get around Monster there.
And DeFalco
holds on with that fourth place finish today. They sat right in the middle of the fleet all week and ended up with third place on the World Championship podium.
All right, that was one of the highlights of the second race start. We had the Extremes just finish here in front of us. Joey, an interesting class there. 4 boats were racing out there, one by itself. The JBS Racing made it all the way through. They win the world title there. But what I'm fascinated by Extreme is on Wednesday, everybody broke down.
Yeah, and it was
everybody broke down.
It was good to see them all fight back. The last 2 days, they really did complete their laps, and it made it very interesting. But the Farnsworth was well in control most of the week. Even when they broke down that very first day, they were able to get their boat going back up and move into position to take the checkered flag all 3 days. They didn't do the lead all 3 days, but they are one of the few teams that can say that they won all 3 races to clearly go ahead and take this title as world champion in the VX class.
Yeah, one of the things that's happening here today, Joey, is we're mixing up the start times. It's completely different than the way when we started on Wednesday. Remember, we shook it up again on Friday, and now shaking it up again here today. And then the day got started right at 10 a.m. where you had the Mod Vs taking the course out there.
Yeah, we did the Mod Vs started this today. Yeah, they were the very first ones. And like we said, the Sunprint, man, they knew where they were. The Hurricane of Awesomeness, the LSB had the trouble on the very first day, and because of that, he was, he had to fight back from being lapped down.
He didn't finish on day one.
On Wednesday, he did not finish. He was sitting in second place position and had engine trouble, did not be able to complete it, and fell all the way back to this. It's a big class with 8 boats in it that very first day. 7 ran today. So you fall back to 7th place on that first day. It makes it tough to come back. But with 2 checkered flags, now mind you, the LSB, that number 66, the Hurricane of Awesomeness, won Friday and won Sunday. So they have more checkered flags than the Sunprint. The Sunprint took first place and then second place. So in the end, LSB has more checkered flags, but that first day falling all the way 7th place, while Sunprint went first, second. Sunprint knew what they had to do. They did not try to run down LSB. They sat comfortably in second place the whole way. Heck, they could have even taken third and still been your world champions. So nice run for them to pull that off, and congrats to that Sunprint team.
Yeah, and in this classification, the Mod V, really, Joey, it goes back to day one. Here today,
it really does. It does. It's
with LSB, breaking down.
And they're still they're on the podium
laps.
still. They're still the number 2 team in the World Championship race right there. They get 2 podiums at the top, and the one they're left off altogether makes the difference. They end up second on the World Championship podium for the week. But still, that's a good congratulations to them. In third place in that class, boat floaters again. Fast Boys made the run to third place today, but Fast Boys needed to do more than that. They needed to get all the way around, and boat floaters knew in order to get anything higher than third on the podium, they would have to go chase down the LSB and have the boat float and Sunprint fall at boat 2. So at that point, boat floaters knew that it was going to be tough. So Why go try to break the boat? Run the boat smart, run to a 4th place today, and get on the podium, World Championship number 3 in the title hunt.
Right. So, boy, some exciting stuff right off the bat here. Another nice day. Actually, a really nice day to be out here as we got, it's not as hot or sunny. Good breeze out here. Great fan experience. Had a chance to go through the race village, Joey, before the start of race number 1. It is packed out there. By the way, if you're thinking about going out to Fort Zachary Taylor Park, forget about that. That was filled up at about just after 10 o'clock today. The best spot to get out is to come out here to the Outer Mole and join us here and go through the Rap Beats Race Village, go through all this. There's so many goodies out here. I can't even list it. It's Sunday of race day. It is a spectacular day out here. And Joey, we got so many more races to come.
Yeah, it's not over yet. It's still 4 more to go for the rest of the afternoon. And when we come back from this, we got 3 of the most exciting race classes out there. You know, the Stock 450 is going to start us right back up. That's got a great battle right there between TS Motorsports and GC Racing, are right neck to neck coming into that one. A lot of good 6 boats in that class, going to be a lot of fun. And then to follow, I mean, they're going to go bang, bang, bang right after each other, you know. And right after that's going to be the Super Stock class running. They're up to, I think there's 13 laps in the Super Stock. And I'm sorry, 10 in the Super Stock. Super Cat has 13. And Super Cat is really, with 11 boats out there, it's going to be exciting. Anything can happen today. Anything can go crazy, tipsy-turvy. And there's a lot of titles still to be won. And then the brackets will close this off today. And there's a lot of titles to be won. There's 25 boats to finish off the day there. So tons of boats still to race here. Tons of excitement still to come. 5-boat fleet. 30 to go here, too.
Yeah, you know, we're worldwide with our broadcast. Want to say hi to our buddy Tony Acosta, who is driving his big tractor trailer through the great state of Utah listening right now.
That's awesome, man.
One of the great Caulk baseball players. Hey, Tony, yeah, it's me out here, and glad to have you with us. And wherever you're tuned in around the world, online at thezone977.com with your phones and iHeartRadio and TuneIn. Don't forget about the live stream coverage. You can go check that out. That carries our broadcast at Race World Offshore's Facebook page. And if you're driving around in Key West terrestrial, we are at 97.7 on your FM dial. All right, we're just getting going with the Lichty Marina Marathon halftime report. When we come back, we're going to chat with Mark Waddington. He is one of the owners of Performance Boat Center, a major player here at the World Championship Offshore Powerboat Races. Don't go away. Plenty more to do here from the Porte Performance Broadcast Center as we head toward the lunchtime hour. Remember, the harbor is closed from now until 12:30 when our third race will get going at 12:30. Back after this here on your home of the World Championship Offshore Powerboat Races, The Zone, 97.7 WAVK.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way, diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. And point oysters chucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
Powerboating in Paradise returns to the Florida Keys November 7th through the 13th with the Florida Powerboat Club's 31st annual Key West Poker Run, presented by Mercury Racing. This week-long event features 250 powerboat teams and 2,000 participants from around the globe, enjoying the beautiful waterways of the Florida Keys and Key West, and the luxurious guest experience from hotel partners including Hyatt Centric Key West, The Marker, Pier House, and Casa Marina. Join the fun at the Caulk Republic Seafood Company Thursday through Saturday.
Hey Keys family, Lichty Marina Marathon is proud to be the Keys' largest Suzuki repower dealer. Suzuki engines deliver unmatched reliability and performance. This week's boat of the week is the super sweet Pioneer 180 Islander. The 180 Islander is the perfect boat for family fun. With its 6-person capacity, this center console is the perfect boat to pull up to the sandbars and enjoy the outdoors with friends.
packed with people, and everybody's having a good time. And I just left the VIP tent area, and they're all eating shrimp and all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of goodies. Bill Lay and his team doing a great job for you guys over there. But it doesn't matter whether you're in the VIP tent or not. I mean, you come walking out here on the Mole, Larry, there is so much for the fans here, from foods to whatever you'd like to drink, to interactive booths, merchandise. I mean, this is a true race village out here at the Rab Beats Race Village. It's pretty amazing how much stuff is out here.
It's just it's amazing. And also I want people to come by. When you come out at the beginning of our stretch here in the Outer Mole, Monster Energy has their big new semi trailer over there.
They got the video games,
and all that. Put a big thank you to Monster Energy for all that they're doing and helping. And it's nice getting all these sponsors and companies on board to show off their stuff.
Well, and they've done that. The teams have done that. What a week this has been, Larry. I look back at the week. Friday was such a special day. We had our first ever flyover by the United States Navy, the Sundowners, out of NAS Key West here during Veterans Day weekend, and just honoring all of our service members past and present, the tremendous racing that we've had for the 2 days. Friday night, the Duval Street Party.
That was...
I mean, Larry, wow. That was something.
We knew that was going to be busy, and it was busy. I started out at the far end on the new block that we used.
Right.
And went from there the other way. Mm-hmm. And it was the same amount of people all the way.
Everywhere.
It's amazing, the people that come out for this. And what's funny is I was having dinner at 6 o'clock so I could be ready for that. And we were at La Trattoria at Bill Lay's place. And there were some customers in there, and they were talking about boat races, and I didn't say anything, it's really, and then the guy goes, then the boats start coming down. He said, man, I can't believe this. What's going on here? And I go, well, you picked the right week to be here. I don't know what you were planning, but you planned it pretty good. He said, I've never seen anything like this. And so there's a new customer we got forever now.
Yeah, it was so much fun. On Friday, the whole week has been spectacular, Larry. Today, our final day. And when we're all done with racing, the fans don't need to go home, because they can go over to Coffee Butler Amphitheater. We'll have the big awards ceremony. Going to have live music and cocktails and stuff like that. And another thing that you have to get the racers with the fans and see everything. You'll see the World Championships handed out tonight there, and then of course the champagne will be flowing, as they say.
That's right. It's going to be pretty exciting. Every year we've had it over there, and it's everybody shows up. We have some music going and all that, and in the pits making correct with breakouts or whatever happened, classes or any penalties and stuff like that. And once we get that all tabulated and know that we're correct with everything, then we go out and start the show, and it's going to be amazing, and we've also got the Kate's Cup, that we're going to be giving away again this year, and we're going to have to figure out this year.
Right.
So,
is Craig
I'm sure he
around here somewhere?
Yeah.
He's probably into that shrimp.
The shrimp bowl.
Ted, we're chatting with Larry Blau, president of Race World Offshore here. And so you don't need to go home after the races. Go join us over in the Coffee Butler Amphitheater, as the party will continue there.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't fight the traffic getting out. Just let everybody mosey on out.
Here's the best part: as we sit and we're getting ready to open the harbor at 12:30. Man, do we got some racing coming everybody's way. It's the first race coming out of the chute at 12:30. We'll see the stock 450s, and then right after them, we'll see the super stocks, and we'll just keep going.
That's right. It's this 450 class is really competitive. You know, got a lot of, you know, it's a new class. You know, new boats, new everything, and they're really technical equipment now. So they can change things and dial them in for the conditions. And then you know, super stock. You know, that's wild and crazy guys. You know, there's like 11 boats in that class. And then the Super Cats.
And the Super Cats.
You know, we got like 10 boats of those.
11?
11.
Yeah.
We haven't had that many Super Cats for years. You know, it's always been like 4 or 5
Well,
boats.
we will have 10 in that class today.
I think one broke last.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you got all the bracket boats.
Yeah, then we're
Two.
going to final it up with the bracket boats. And then we're going to.
If you can't get your fill of racing, there's something wrong with you. 'Cause, I mean, we have got action galore coming everybody's way here.
And everybody this morning, you know, behaved themselves and everything was good.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, before we let you go, you're a busy guy. The whole week, how's it been for you, your team, and all that, and seeing all this come to fruition, all the hard work?
Well, it's really, you know, I'm very excited and happy, you know, with all the people that show up and for all of the race teams, you know, all the effort and time and energy and money that they spend to put this sport on. And I'm just proud of my whole team, you know, between the divers to the city workers to everyone involved with putting this event. You know, it takes a whole lot of people.
It's an army. It really
it's an
is.
army.
Yeah, to make
we
this
got
happen.
the Army and the Navy here, you know, and the Coast Guard.
You know, by the way, how about those Australians, that Australian Navy team? They've conquered like every body of water now in the world.
Yeah,
wow.
that boat, they've got it dialed in, that's for sure.
They really did, yeah.
Yeah.
Larry, kudos to you, my friend. You know, like we've talked about throughout the week, I've been with you through the entire process and your career in this sport, and to see how this has grown and what has taken place is truly amazing, and you have to be very proud. You know, I'm going to pat you on your back and your whole team and all that for providing something as spectacular as
you, and thank you for all of your team and all that you do.
Okay, yeah, Todd's going to want the mic back
here
pretty soon. Yeah,
I'm out of here. Well, what does the coach say? I'm out of here?
Oh, Judd Wise, yeah. The coach is out.
The coach is out.
He'll love that. Thank you, Larry. Larry Blisle, president of Race World Offshore. What a job Larry and his team have done, and the party continues here. And all kinds of racing coming your way. Our next race scheduled to come your way just after 12:30. The Stock 450s will take the field. This has been the Lichty Marina Marathon halftime report, brought to you by Lichty Marina Marathon. They're the Keys' largest Suzuki repower dealer. Lichty Marine, 9200 Overseas Highway in Marathon. More from the Porte Performance Broadcast Center when we return to the 42nd Annual World Championship Offshore Powerboat Races here in Key West on the Zone, 97.7 WAVK.
Keys Auto Center is your hometown car dealership. Now with 2 locations at 1618 and 3500 North Roosevelt Boulevard in Key West. Same great staff with over 80 local employees ready to serve you. Keys Auto Center has every brand you can imagine. Chevys, Buicks, GMC trucks, Cadillacs, Corvettes, Nissans, Ford, Chryslers, Dodge, Jeep, Rams, and Toyotas. Go to KeysAutoCenter.com to see all that Keys Auto Center can do for you.
Key West Adventures, Jeep Rentals, and more at 3424 North Roosevelt Boulevard. You're probably wondering what the more is all about. Well, the more now includes boats. Beautiful Bennington 22 Tritoons provided brand new by Polaris. Located at Real Impact Marina on Summerland Key. Rent them for as little as a half day or as long as a month. Key West Adventures will even deliver your boat wherever you need it. Go to KeyWestAdventures.com to take a look for yourself and check out the frequently asked questions for more details. Book your next adventure online at KeyWestAdventures.com.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way, diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters chuck to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
If you love powerboats, Key West is the place to be all this week as the Florida Powerboat Club returns with the 31st annual Key West Poker Run presented by Mercury Racing. See the latest powerboats from the leading performance manufacturers on display at the Conquer